You feel like a pupil at that point who was flunking and that you had to try to get an A?
Not at all. I had a bad night. These things happen.
Welcome back to a Boxing World Recap. On today's video, we're going to revisit one of the most epic fights in Tyson's career.
Does a big guy, does the fact that he was 6'6" tall, not big in terms of weight, 211, but big in terms of height, do you feel have any effect on Tyson?
I believe so.
It's the night he fought the biggest and toughest man he'd ever faced, Jose Ribalta. This giant of a man was one of the biggest fighters of his era, and certainly one of the toughest, as he made it through almost 10 rounds with the baddest man on the planet. Let's get right into it. 3 months before Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history by destroying Trevor Berbick in only 5 minutes.
Bangs the body, wow, that uppercut is Tyson, catches him with a right left hook, and he goes down! He goes down, he should be able to get up from this. His legs may be shut, they are! As Trevor Berbick falls back in the rope, I don't know if he's going to be able to continue.
Jose Ribalta faced the 20-year-old Tyson in 1986. Although it was expected that the Cuban-born Ribalta would be simple pickings, he ended up giving Tyson one of his toughest nights by getting up from 3 knockdowns to fight back and carry on to the last round. So, who is Jose Ribalta? And how did he give Mike Tyson such a tough time? Let's find out.
In Miami, Florida, Jose Ribalta.
Jose Ribalta made his professional debut in 1982, and he was so good that he had 10 straight wins. He eventually lost in 1983 to Ricardo Richardson by TKO in the 7th round. Ribalta won 7 more fights after that. As he rose up the professional boxing rankings, Ribalta supported himself by sparring with WBC champion Trevor Berbick and title challenger Jerry Cooney. His debut match on national television was against James Bonecrusher Smith in July 1985. Ribalta lost by a split decision. The judge's choice infuriated the audience loudly.
A winner by a split decision, James Bonecrusher Smith.
And Ribalta felt that he was robbed of the win. Ribalta faced Marvis Frazier in September 1985. Frazier won by majority decision after a close fight. And in May 1986, he was knocked down by David Jaco, but he recovered and won by knockout in the 5th round. He didn't have the best run of fights leading to his match against Tyson, so the whole world was expecting the match to be over quickly enough.
When I looked at Jose Ribalta's chances today, I found no chance. With all the ifs and whats and whys I could put together, I still found no way, Ray Leonard, that this man could win the fight.
Future journeyman Ribalta had a 22-3-1 record before the fight, and among his defeats were a knockout loss in his 11th professional contest and a subsequent points loss to Marvis Frazier. The same Marvis Frazier, Smokin' Joe Frazier's son, who Tyson had dismantled in under a minute a month before.
Uppercut, and Marvis is hurt.
Frazier is down. Joe Cortez moves in to have a look, and he's going to stop the fight. It did not last 20 seconds.
Tyson looked more fiercer than normal when he entered that ring to face Ribalta, snarling, sweat-drenched, and bare-chested. Although Ribalta genuinely met Tyson's fierce pre-fight stare eye to eye, HBO analyst Larry Merchant summed up the mood when he said to TV viewers at the start of the bell, "Don't anybody go to the toilet or refrigerator. Mike Tyson has short working hours."
Okay, don't anybody go to the toilet or the refrigerator. Mike Tyson has short working hours. He punches in and punches out.
The fight was televised live from the Trump Plaza Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey on August 17, 1986. The WBA and WBC at the time ranked Tyson number 1 and number 2, while Jose Ribalta was ranked 8 and 10, respectively. Throughout the fight, Tyson knocked down Ribalta, who had a 6'5" frame, 3 times. The first was a right hook to the body, combined with an uppercut in round 2.
So counter right hand by Mike Tyson is invited. And there was an uppercut. What a shot.
The next one came in round 8 when Tyson caught Ribalta with a vicious left hook that put him through the ropes.
There is no spring, and there's a smashing left hand, and wisely...
Finally, Tyson delivered another left in round 10, but Ribalta managed to beat the count after 4. When the fight resumed, Tyson immediately barraged Ribalta with powerful shots, and the referee Rudy Battle intervened to call time on the fight at 1 minute 37 seconds of the 10th and final round. The next round of shots from Tyson after he recovered from the third knockout caught Ribalta, who was leaning up against the ropes. After the ref intervened and awarded Tyson the victory, Ribalta was clearly upset with the interruption.
The time, 1 minute and 37 seconds of the 10th round. Referee stops the bout, winner by TKO, Mike Tyson.
He looked like he was ready to keep going, but the whole night proved that he wasn't going to get anything from this match, as he could barely land a punch on Tyson. Following the bout, Tyson expressed displeasure with his performance.
So you're satisfied the way it came out in the end?
Most definitely.
And referred to it as a bad night. He had in his mind to come to fight, and I commend him, Tyson said afterwards. He fought back. He had the idea he was going to survive. He was hurt pretty bad, but I couldn't finish him. I was disappointed. I had a bad night, Mike Tyson said after the fight.
Well, why, if you knocked him down the second round, the 8th round, why couldn't you finish him?
Well, he was hurt pretty bad, and those are the breaks. I couldn't finish him.
You feel like a pupil at that point who was flunking and that you had to try to get an A?
Not at all. I had a bad night. These things happen.
Tyson was used to short working hours. This time, he was forced to engage in the final round of his match, which no one predicted before the fight. Tyson was able to end that match before the final bell in the final minute. I hit Jose Ribalta with everything, and he took everything, and kept coming back for more, marveled Tyson to Ring Magazine years later, when he claimed Ribalta had the best chin of any boxer he'd fought. Tyson also called El Nino the physically strongest heavyweight he had shared the ring with, adding, "Ribalta stood toe-to-toe with me. He was very strong in the clinches." Tyson handed out knockouts in the 80s like other people handed out business cards. His previous 4 opponents had each lasted a combined total of 5 rounds, and while James Quick Tillis and Mitch Blood Green had gone the distance against Tyson when he was a teen, they had done so by sabotaging and avoiding conflict Tillis and outright running Green. Tyson praised Ribalta in his autobiography, Undisputed Truth, saying that Ribalta was a game fighter who, unlike Green and Tillis, actually engaged me. Even hours after the fight, Ribalta's body blows made me feel nauseous. I never felt that much general pain again. In round 2, the 6'5" Ribalta, who towered over Tyson and was remarkably muscular, didn't follow the typical opponent pattern. Ribalta nearly fell over after Tyson's vicious uppercut, but he stood back up at the count of 4 and survived the vicious follow-up to hear the bell. The foes of Tyson tend to succumb early, or through trickery and toughness, escape the early carnage. Nobody was hurt this badly early on and got up to make a fight of it, yet Ribalta did, even earning a glare of disbelief from Tyson at the close of round 3. By the middle rounds, Ribalta's strategy of surviving the early storm and advancing quickly was almost succeeding. When the sawn-off Brooklynite unleashed his own shots, he was slamming Tyson to the body, eating plenty of leather himself and catching Tyson with uppercuts. By round 8, the pro-Tyson audience was yelling, "Jose, Jose, Jose."
And the crowd again showing its both appreciation and support for Jose Ribalta.
Because they were so moved by Ribalta's rising success that only seemed to further enrage his rival. Ribalta's gum shield flew into the Trump Plaza crowd in Atlantic City when Tyson finally broke through, slamming him to the ropes for a second knockdown. But Ribalta got back up and looked like he'd make it through the 10-round fight until a monstrous left hook sat him down with minutes left to go in the final round. When the ref, Rudy Battle, asked Ribalta if he wanted to continue fighting, his stone-cold response was emphatic. "Yeah, hell yeah."
Hey, how you doing? You want to continue? Yeah, okay.
Despite an anguished protest by Ribalta that he could have made it to the final bell, Tyson leaped on him with more hooks, and the ref jumped in to end things. The final punch statistics revealed that Tyson, who was then in the prime of his career, had landed 220 blows, almost 100 of which were power shots. However, Ribalta persisted with fighting back. and the stoppage in the 10th round was the latest KO Tyson would ever record in his career. For that reason, it was also among the legendary heavyweight's favorite knockouts. Unfortunately for Ribalta, predictions from impressed pundits that he demonstrated he could be a top heavyweight contender proved erroneous. After losing to Tyson, he won 9 fights in a row, mostly against mediocre opposition, and at one point was campaigning for a rematch with Don King. However, between 1990 and 92, Ribalta suffered 5 consecutive defeats, including a second-round KO at the hands of Frank Bruno in London.
That's a good right hand, and the man's right above me, and he's almost coming out on top of me. And down goes Ribalta, and what are people going to say about that?
Before retiring in 1999 with a 38-17-1 record. For Tyson, the outcome was disappointing. He claimed that having to work hard to win was a vital part of his route to becoming the undisputed champion, and he saw the fight as a significant learning experience. Additionally, Tyson had demonstrated for the first time that he could maintain his strength late and stop a stubborn opponent. However, Ribalta, a tall heavyweight with an unimposing record but a good jab and solid fundamentals, had shown how to make those weapons work against Tyson. It was a strikingly similar game plan to the one used by James Buster Douglas 4 years later, when he stunned the world by defeating Tyson.
Landing these, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas. Look at this. He's knocked down for the first time in his career. Mike Tyson hits the canvas. He's in big trouble. He's not gonna make it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Buster Douglas is the new heavyweight champion of the world.
Even if a distracted Iron Mike was much to blame for his own demise, as his life outside the ring spiraled out of control. But Tyson was still boxing's fastest rising star in 1986, and no fighter pushed him harder for a spectacular KO finish than unheralded, unknown Jose Ribalta. What'd you guys think about Jose Ribalta in this epic match? Why don't you let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and if you felt all of this, hit that like and subscribe, because we have some more great videos coming your way. See you on the next one.